Let's get this show rolling. Let's give everybody a round of applause for all of them. All right, everybody, sit back and enjoy.
Hi, my name is Yu Zhang and I'm from China. The thing that makes me want to be a designer is a passion for life and longing to see the gladness that people wearing the clothing they like. I think technology makes the fashion much faster than it was, and including global trading and exchange different ideas from people. I look myself in the future as a strange designer, successful businessman, and a cover of magazine. The three words I'm going to describe my collection would be freedom, street, and drama. This collection was inspired by hip-hop culture and music and the people's attitude of life.
Payton. I want to be a designer because I don't like boring clothes, and I want to design my own special clothes. The technology I use in my design is I use Photoshop and Illustrator to design my 3 flats. In the future, I want to be a fashion designer in Taiwan and create my own store in Taipei. I think my target customer will be teenage. The 3 words I would describe my collection will be cute, happy, and energetic. My inspiration for this collection are my toys and my pet in Taiwan. I really love animals, so my collection is animal kingdoms. I add bears and rabbit into my design.
My name is Layla Vasquez. I wanted to be a designer ever since I can remember. I remember knitting a sweater for my dad when I was 4 years old because I wanted him to look good. I want to be a designer to give confidence to people and making them feel good and look good. It's giving access to me to create my e-commerce website so I can market my designs without being at home in my office. And also I can be with my kids too. As a mother, it's very important for me. I would use technology in my designs to make life easier, to be able to communicate with my kids by tracking them with their clothing when we are apart. I see myself in the future as an entrepreneur, owning and operating my own clothing line for kids and giving back to Peru for kids with special needs. Sustainable is a great geometry. This collection was inspired by nature and the love of my daughters.
Felicia Princi. My fashion interest goes back further than I can remember, and it definitely comes from my mom. She's an amazing seamstress, and by seeing what she could create made me want to be a designer. For designers today, they can create their designs just by using a program on the computer, which makes the design process a whole lot easier and faster. If I were to use technology in my designs, I would want them to be able to change temperature. So if it's hot outside, they would cool you down, and if it's cold outside, they would get you warmer. In the future, I see myself with a career in fashion and a big family. Combining those two things is definitely my dream. If I would describe my collection in 3 words, they would be playful, feminine, and flirty. My collection is inspired by the city of Los Angeles. Coming from another country, Los Angeles always seemed so glamorous and luxurious.
My name is Randall Assess. I want to be a designer because I love thinking about ideas and turning them into something wearable. Technology has changed the fashion industry because now we can produce things faster and quicker. For my collection, I actually didn't use any technology. I decided to hand knit all of my pieces. Honestly, in the future, I just see myself doing something creative because that's what I love to do. I describe my collection to be unique, sustainable, and one of a kind. This collection was inspired by not wanting to go out and buy fabric and wanting to create my own textile, so that's why I decided to hand knit my garments.
name is Emily Geldreich. So the reasons I want to be a designer is because I really like the idea that I can just translate my ideas and my thoughts into design, and I also really like the feeling I have when I can see people wear my clothes and the sense of achievement I get. I think that technology has a big influence on the fashion industry. The arrival of smartphone has really forced retailers to think about new innovative ways to really contact and communicate with these customers. If I were to use technology in my design, I think I would probably create garments that are both functional and fashionable. I would probably use smart fabrics that would optimize comfort by just adjusting to the environment. So in the future, I would ultimately like to create my own brand of clothing, but I think after I graduate, I want to get more experience and probably work in a couture house for a while. The three words that best describe my collection are probably elegance, femininity, and contrast. So what really inspired me for this collection is the mix of the effortless Californian look with the sophistication of European ways of dressing.
Payton, and then I go by Iris. What makes me want to be a designer? I really like go thrifting clothes and then make them into new style. And I don't really like repetitive tests, so that's why being a designer kind of come natural to me. I think technology changed the fashion industry by opening doors for more opportunity. How do I use technology in my design? I think so far I'm not gonna put technology in my design, but definitely as a tool of promoting my ideas, and then a way of like educating people on sustainable issues. Where do I see myself in the future? I will see myself in a studio with a group of people who knows my passion and then believes in what I believed in. Sustainable, unexpected, and then empowering. My inspiration for this collection will be the mindset of finding yourself and then different phase of selves. And then also all the material that I use in this collection will be thrifted items.
I've always loved shopping, but when I couldn't find anything in stores, I got disappointed. Prince once said, when I want to hear new music, I make it. And that's exactly what I wanted to do with fashion. I think that the biggest thing that's changed the fashion industry is social media, because it makes shopping easy and convenient wherever or whoever you are. Personally, I would not use technology in my garments, but it would definitely help me when I'm designing. Since I'm a painter and artist at heart, I would like to incorporate that into my designs in the future. And lastly, I would like to show my pieces at Paris Fashion Week. My collection in 3 words would be craftsmanship, edgy, and unique. My collection is inspired by sensuality and a mix of masculine and feminine. And that's what makes my pieces strong and delicate at the same time.
Shyam for Shy. What made me want to be a designer is that I really like to sort of understand what makes people tick and why things are the way they are. And fashion's always been the greatest way to express your sort of individuality. I feel like technology has definitely made the fashion industry much faster. I feel like we're not appreciating, valuing our garments as much as we should. And I feel like we need to take a step back to really appreciate and understand the effects we have on the environment. I would use technology in my designs, specifically through lights. I'm really big on the effects of lighting, and having that installed into a lot of my garments would be really cool because it can make some very spectacular, sort of awe-inspiring designs. In the future, I see myself having an atelier, being a designer who makes one-of-a-kind garments for people, because I really want people to understand what it's like to have something custom made for you. My collection in 3 words would probably be bespoke, empowering, daring. And then boom, show starts. What inspired this collection is having a passion for both technology and nature. I wanted to fuse both to create a really unique and original concept that basically shows people that it's okay to dream, but it's also okay to have a future that's green.
name's Abbey. I want to be a designer because I love clothes, and I thought it would be a great outlet for me to be creative and explore starting my own business. I think technology has changed the fashion industry in a way that it makes it more convenient for designers. We can digitally illustrate, design, create textiles, promote, sell, etc. The technology I would use in my designs would probably be 3D printing. I think that it would create so many endless options to be creative with shapes, geometry, and textiles, and a great way for me to think outside the box with my designs. I see myself in the future in costume design and hopefully creating my own personal line. My collection in 3 words I would describe as glam, shiny, and poofy. My collection was inspired by the 80s. I was born in the 80s and I loved the way that people used fashion to express themselves in really big ways.
Lucia, but everybody knows me as Sahira Sin. I don't want to be a designer, I am a designer. As to why, I really just have this desire inside of me that I have to create things. I get these ideas in my head that I just have to turn into reality. And that's why I do what I do. I think technology has changed everything about the fashion industry, from switching over to these amazing software programs so we don't have to do as much by hand, to finally making our industry much more environmentally friendly. I use technology in my designs by trying to find the most environmentally friendly textiles and products as possible that still coincide with my design ideas. I also use pretty much all software every step of the way. We use Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, Tech, and so on to make everything come to life. In the future, I see myself continuing to be my own boss, but I would also really like to start a not-for-profit organization that helps children and youth get access to our programs as well as mental health care. The 3 words that would describe my collection are bohemian, vampire, rock star. This collection was mainly inspired by fantasy books and movies. I became obsessed with this idea of what a creature like a vampire would be wearing after 100 years and more on this earth, and collecting that kind of cultural experience. And I wound up settling on this idea of like kind of a grunge rock star kind of vibe mixed with ethnic Indian textiles.
My name is Jay Kennedy. I want to be a fashion designer because fashion to me is a freedom of self-expression. And growing up gay, sometimes I didn't have a voice to express myself, and fashion would give me that voice. One of the main ways that technology has changed the fashion industry is through the use of social media. Social media influences spending and buying decisions, and it allows for designers to collaborate with one another. I wouldn't use technology personally in my designs, but I would use it for my designs. Once again, I'm a millennial, so I use Instagram every day, and I would use it to promote and advertise my design. In the future, running the world, but seriously, in the future, I would like to be in charge of my own fashion brand and label, and I would also love to work for Yves Saint Laurent or Terry Mugler. bold, sassy, and chic. The inspiration from this collection comes from being a minority in America. I really wanted this collection to speak for all minority groups living in an oppressed society.
Princi and my nickname is Nina. I originally majoring in computer science. Since I took a fashion one class at elective, I enjoyed it too much. After that, I decided to change elective to fashion design. Technology has changed everything in the fashion world, even though computer, laser, etc. I use technology in my design by Photoshop to create my design and overlock machine and a sewing machine that I put the clothes together. My future goal is to have own clothing collection and sell it out in a cute little boutique shop. In my 3 words of fashion, that historic, culture, and traditional, these are meaning that I came from. My inspired collection theme that came from my culture. I want people to know that we not have only silk but other fabric as well. My collection that special people wear in exercise.
My name is Ridwan Shikun. What made me want to be a designer is me going through cancer and realizing that fashion is my passion. Technology has changed the fashion industry by having a social media that creates a trend for worldwide, especially for the young generation. I would use technology in my design by 3D printing and laser cutting. I see myself in the future having a store in Saudi Arabia and Jeddah, then in Emirates, which is in Dubai, and expand overseas. I would describe my collection as survival, powerful, and strength. What inspired this collection is the emotions that I went through when I was battling cancer.
name is Sylvester Satina. I guess I've always wanted to be a designer because since I was a young boy, I've been very fascinated with design and art. Technology has changed the fashion industry in lots of different ways, but unfortunately it has also sped it up to a point where it's been very bad for the environment. So I believe that it needs to become a lot slower again and start creating very quality garments as opposed to the fast clothing that we wear today. Technology is allowing us to create non-animal-based materials that we can use for fabrics. Currently, there are leathers being made out of pineapple and mushrooms, and I like to incorporate those in my designs. In the future, I'd like to design my own line of sustainable fashions. My collection in 3 words is idealistic, modern, and edgy. My collection is inspired by the Greek mythology of Hades and Persephone, where Hades abducted Persephone and takes her to the underworld for 6 months out of the year, giving rise to the seasons.
Well, I wanted to be a designer because I enjoy enhancing someone's figure through combining color and fabric with my own style, taste, and design and creativity. Well, I think technology has impacted the fashion industry when it comes to fabric by making available textile and prints which weren't available before digital technology. Well, I would use technology in my design by making fabrics more durable, comfortable, and affordable. Well, I see myself in the future to have my own line and hopefully open my own shop at the Grove. 3 words that describe my collection are elegant, feminine, confident. This collection was inspired by a combination of color and nature and the unique texture and shapes of flowers.
My name is Jorge del Busto. My desire to be a designer, actually I think it comes since I was 2 or 3 years old. I used to wear my sister's dresses and my mother makeup and her high heels, and I think it all started since there. Things are going to change a lot here to the future, and we just have to adapt and come back to school like I am doing. I'm 48 years old and I'm here, learning what new kids know. In a way, a little old-fashioned combined with avant-garde, so more in the forms than the technology I'm using. In the future, 2 things. First, I gotta start working as soon as possible, and along the way continue with having like a little atelier and work for established people, and also in the future, like around 3 to 5 years, have my own brand again and be successful with that. This collection is inspired actually for 2 things. They are together. One is my first muse, which is my grandmother. She was an aristocrat in Argentina, and she taught me who guide me about style since I was a kid. And the other thing is what is going on in the country right now with the imbalance of power and women that really wants to change that. And that's the type of women I design for.
Our next designer, Jorge Del Busto, has asked for a moment of silence to acknowledge the victims that have suffered at the hands of the abuse of male power in this country.